Or do I need to abort this shit again? Excellent connection, it says. Jeez, motherfucker. There we go, jeez. What a pain in the dick. Every time. Every single time. Not every time, but at least half of the time. So fucking bogus. Alright, one moment here. Okay, there we go. Back to it. We are playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Once again. Don't think I really changed a whole lot. I got summon limit in here. I've not used it yet. I took Mask of Restrict back out for now. I'm trying this out with the Forgotten Temple and Tornado Wall combo, plus this Testudo Aratnumen, which is just kind of a shitty name for a monster in my opinion, but I don't have enough cards to make that work, so. Continuing with our reversal duels. I'd honestly not to do this, just because, I'm not facing anything new, and I'm not, I have to save all of the resources I get before I can actually spend it on anything I actually want, which sucks. Cards cannot be sent from the deck to the graveyard. Oh, okay. That's nice of you. But my Imperial Custom! I think this is the first time I fucked your MST. Nice. Hey, Knight, what's up? Still late night for me. I recently learned that Mystic Tomato had its artwork changed from the Japanese version, and the Japanese version looks a lot better because it doesn't look like a fucking tomato, it looks like a jack-o'-lantern, which is dumb. Another swords. Wonderful. Thank videos always daunted me because there are too many effects to learn. What is this Uria build? Do you know what an Uria build is, or are you asking what an Uria build is? Part of clear water. Oh, that's cool. Give me that. I'm expressing surprise that it is a thing. It was kind of a thing like 15 years ago. But I am evolving it. Everyone wants to say, oh, it's traps aren't viable. What's a trap card? No one uses traps anymore. What the fuck is wrong with you? There are only 2 trap cards, Infinite Impermanence and Red Reboot. Nothing else exists. And I'm like, no. I'm gonna keep playing Uria. I don't give a fuck. What is he doing? Oh wow, I took 800 damage, big whoop. What is this doing? It's not destroyed as a result of battle by the effect of a card that targets the monster. That's surprisingly decent. And I know that's an old card, so... As for the always daunted me because there are too many effects to learn, I don't think there's really too many effects to learn, so much as they feel like they need to put a wall of text on every single fucking card. Like, you can fairly say that Uria has like 4 different effects on this card, but by no means does it need to be a hyper minuscule wall of text that even at maximum zoom you can barely read it on screen without needing a separate text box for it. Wonderful. Select a card to ban. Oh, really? Okay, now I'm just choosing a card to get rid of this garbage. I don't frickin' know. Whatever, Uria. Get rid of a copy of Uria. Sucks. You're just punishing me for everything. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna nuke your shit. Get rid of that. No? Oh, he's got the Heart of Clear Water on him. God damn it. It's irritating. Congratulations, you accomplished nothing. Position, huh? Awfully bold of you. Okay, let's get rid of some shit. Flip. And that. And we will swing into you. Gone. Can I different dimension capsule again? Like I can. Forgeki, please. I was a little bit too overeager with the magic planners because now I do not have 3 continuous traps in play. Gotta set down a whole new one. Did I just entirely skip a swing? So it happens when you're not used to using combat to attack. Alright, well, good timing. And Uria. Limit removal. Sweet. Get fucked. Bunch of Yusei Fudo fights. I really want that to go faster because I feel like I just gotta do a whole bunch of these. I can work with that. Kinda have more disposable cards right now. Contributed. Turret warrior. I will activate Scrubbed Raid. Uses effects. There we go. Set, please. I'll also set this as fodder for Scrubbed Raid. Battle phase. Scrubbed Raid, please. Gotta stack up some defenses. One more time. Okay. part I control, so I could send Sandan, technically. Just save the trouble of letting an attack go through. Hey, how about that? That works. Didn't think I could do that. That will help. Scrubbed Raid into Sangan. That is not bad. Gravity Vines. Not gonna swing, okay? Get rid of your shit. And let's start burning you. So you can't contribute. Can swing with that. It's under level 4. Now it's dead. Okay. This will not be a swing for game, sadly, but pretty close. Oh, ho, ho. Well, sadly for you, you do not actually have the full breadth of Uria, Lord of Searing Flames at your command. But you know, I will destroy this guy. I'll let you kill my Raikou, and I will just take the life points you're gonna give me. Works for me. Thank you. See, that's why I was too hasty with Uria. I should not be doing that. But, you're welcome to kill yourself on my Dark Sanctuary. Greetings. How goes it? Tails. Nice. He just took 1,000 damage, and I gained 1,000 life points for doing nothing. And now he has to discard if he wants to do that again. Discard. Tails. Dead. Excellent. What's with the wow? favor, but I won. Would have gone a little bit differently if Uria carried over his attack points, but his attack is dependent on the controller's graveyard, so... Just quit a nightclub job. Some great piercing damage that you're being granting. Asshole. Won't make a difference. Why did you do that? What just happened? That battles one of your monsters. Oh, okay. Turbo Cooper. You taken my set of candles. That is not your life to gain. Give me that back. Tesnu's unemployed. That's a problem. How long has it been? Nitro Warrior. I forget what this guy does. Gotcha. Okay, so I shouldn't be too worried about him. But just in case. Do you think Solemn Wishes is actually good, or do you just want another continuous? I think Solemn Wishes is actually really solid. It lets me tank a good amount of damage when I'm not drawing my other cards, and I can spend the life points on other cards that I have in my deck. Just being able to passively gain life points in the background right before my board gets wiped means that I'll be able to take a lot more damage before I'm able to assemble my defenses again. And that ends up making a big difference in the span of things. Not that I couldn't easily replace these with other cards, but I've yet to get those other cards. Solemn Wishes is also just straight up gold if I'm running Dryad Winds in this deck too. That just means I can destroy a card every single fucking turn, and then have repeatable board wipes. But I'm not running Dryad Winds because it's too situational. And when I do not have a constant source of life gain, and I do not have more life points than my opponent, suddenly it's a dead card in my hand, and that's a bit of an issue. But if I have both cards in play, smashing. Just smashing. Once per turn, you can either target one monster in the field, equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it in attack position. While equipped by this effect, that target gains 1,000 attack. If that target destroys a monster by battle since the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the destroyed monster in the graveyard. Okay. A little bit of risky play. I didn't want that screwing around, but it's going to be around now. If he's somehow able to change Uria to defense, kill him, and then steal my 7,000 attack. Oh, wow, okay. Okay, then. Swings for 900. Oh, even he doubles his attack. Wow, that's so hardcore. I don't think I'll ever be able to handle that. Draws one card, discards to attack. I take 800. Not even 1,800 damage. Nice one. I guess we can blame Yusei Fudo for having the bullshit off-field activatable effect. Are you able to live comfortably with your savings? You're not, like, running up against the line, getting into the red, are you? I've been there. Set a spell or trap on the field. Why, yes. Yes, I will. That's weird. Set card is destroyed. Destroy. Okay, gotcha. Strange. Not having high living costs and chose a small apartment. Sounds like what I do. Definitely goes a long way. Fortress Warrior. Is it only by battle? Yeah. I want to keep what I got. Want a car? Yeah. Car will do it too. Cost of a car is so fucking ridiculous. Just the perception that you need a car probably drives a lot of people into debt and credit cards and stuff. To this day, I have never used a credit card, and I don't want to start. And so far, I'm well enough into my life where I feel like I don't think I'm ever going to have to tap into a credit card. So, I think I'm in good shape there. $20 a day on weekends so they can have cars. Yuck. Two or 3 months of every month I work, even though I'm not in a well-paying profession. That's pretty good. Really should be in that saving mindset, but hey, if you got that much rolling for you, that's pretty good. Let's magic planter that. I still feel like summon limit is just a little bit too, I don't know, liberal with what it permits. Like, I put Gravity Bind in play. Any level 4, the most common level in the game, or higher, can attack. But I put Summon Limit into play, and it's like, you want to summon a monster? Yeah, go ahead. You want to summon 2 monsters? Yeah, sure, fine. You want to summon 3 monsters? Wow, you know, that's just going a little bit too far. I don't quite understand it. Let's start getting rid of this shit. Okay. So, let's swing into you. Oh, I forgot you take no battle damage. I just assumed he wasn't going to be destroyed. That's bullshit. God damn it. Good. won't be a slight problem. Start swinging into my guys. Yep. Give me removal. Hi there. Is it you? What is going on? Why did he get destroyed and his flip effect didn't activate? I have no idea why his flip effect didn't activate. That seems bullshit. Summon limit is so much stronger. You can't make a rank 4 or link 2 to destroy it because you can only summon twice. Well, yeah, in one turn. That's why I think you should probably have that power level staggered out, you know? You could just combo your entire hand on the board and destroy Gravity Binds. That's the thing. There shouldn't be fucking... Oh, I'm gonna combo 3 summons into this into target removal for your particular card type. That's just bogus. It doesn't seem stronger because we're not playing in that format where my opponent is gonna combo that like rank 4s or link 2s into play. But at the same time, that format really shouldn't exist. Because it kind of betrays the flow of Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, we're gonna try this. There we go, there's some damage. Main phase 2. Survive a turn, and he's dead. Face down. Twin twisters. Game. That format can be played since 2014 or so and got more common with passing years. That's bullshit. Shouldn't be that way. That's why people get into the habit of saying no one wants trap cards. Trap cards aren't playable unless you can play them directly from your hand, which means there's only like 2 playable trap cards. Neither Link Monster or XYZs will be stopped by Gravity Bind because they have no levels. I do know that. I am aware of that disadvantage. Trusty Gustav could attack under Gravity Bind. Well, the majority of Gustav's value isn't his 3,000 attack, it's his ability to chuck 2,000 direct damage at you. So, attacking is quite unnecessary for Gustav. Gustav. I feel like you can't say that name appropriately without hyper-emphasizing it. Like, like a Eastern European accent.
Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max.
I don't know what sort of accent that is exactly. It's an approximation of something I've heard one time. My goal is to turn this very slow, trap-oriented deck into something actually competitive. And by competitive, I don't mean meta cancer, I mean competitive. A lot of people like to take competitive to mean meta cancer, but I most definitely do not mean meta cancer. Yeah, having Gustav in the deck is... like, I do not have him for his attack power. I have him so he can do the direct damage. If I swing with Uria, and I have a metal reflex slime out, and Uria is just shy of killing for whatever reason, I can sack Uria into Gustav Max to finish him for the 2000 in main phase 2. Alternatively, before I even get Uria out, I can also go Sky Palace, Gangaradai with 2 metal reflex slimes. That'll get rid of one more obstacle on the field. Then I can summon Uria with my remaining traps, and once again try to swing for the close. The idea, at least. At which point does meta cancer start? Meta cancer starts the moment you start putting cards in your deck just because they're meta. Harpy's Feather Duster and Regeki is the closest you'll get to that in this deck. Honestly. And honestly, part of the reason for that is that these cards should be bans. Harpy's Feather Duster and Regeki should both be bans. Mainly I think Harpy's Feather Duster should be bans. Because if Heavy Storm is a bannable offense, and that destroys your own cards, then the exact same cards that only destroy your opponent's cards is limited to 1 is pretty fucking bullshit. That makes no sense to me. Unless they're suggesting that the true abuse of Heavy Storm came from not just being a cheap board wipe, but being able to destroy your own cards for some reason. Not that that doesn't exist. Now, obviously, I would profit very greatly from having a Heavy Storm in this deck, but... though, at least also in defense of Regeki, insofar as they want to make this more of a creature-centric deck, you can disincentivize the creature-centrism by throwing in cheap removal. Neither player can banish cards. Oh no. Whatever will I do? If I can't banish cards, my entire deck is ruined. I need... Uria's only good if he's got banished continuous traps. Shit. Heavy Storm is banned just to stop the Uria deck. Yes. When the competitive scene consists of you just copying someone else's deck and going like, well, this is winning, therefore I'm gonna run this. Like, that's just fucking idiotic. Now, technically, the deck I'm playing is a copy of another deck list, but not only has it significantly changed since I took that deck list, but this deck has never been meta. Just wanted to point that your XYZs have that utility if you find yourself under a gravity bind and want me to attack for reset. Yeah. If there was, like, a general... If there were some cards that I could roll with, like continuous trap cards, that were, like, general extra deck monster lockout cards, that seemed like that would be pretty good. Not cards that I would put in my deck with the explicit purpose of, like, milling my opponent's extra deck. But if I had something that was like, you cannot Synchro Summon, you cannot XYZ Summon, or you cannot Fusion, or Ritual, or some... Not Ritual, but, you know. If I could punish my opponent for playing extra deck monsters, like, I feel like there's probably some decent mileage to be gotten out of that. But I imagine, that's probably not going to come in continuous trap flavor too easily. I remember when Dark Hole was banned, and banning Dark Hole was really reasonable back in the day when it was super slow and special summoning was rare. And, like, every monster that's actually a threat, like, you killing that is like, well, shit, you set me back 3 turns, and now you get to normal summon your, like, 2,000 attacker, like, Gemini elves or whatever the fuck, and then swing for victory. That sucks. But I don't really have a good reason to run Dark Hole in this deck, even though it would wipe the field of monsters, and most of my deck is not monsters. Regeki is just strictly better. And... nah, that's about it. Regeki is just strictly better. Back when special summoning was special. Yeah, no kidding. Regeki isn't even played in Meta, and I believe Feather Duster is most often sided. Not sure, though. Well, the main reason I have both of those cards in this deck is because I have a specific win condition where I want my opponent's board cleared for 1 turn. And the fastest way to do that is to have Regeki and Feather Duster. So if it's not meta to run those cards, then there you go. That's because I'm kind of playing in a bit of a weird way. I suppose most people don't need a total board wipe a lot of the time, although I struggle to imagine why that wouldn't be valuable in almost every frickin' deck. Alright, might as well just reasoning into it. Uria. Reasoning. I could Twin Twisters the other two. What I want. Well, that was a shitty reasoning. But I could into Gustav Max. Swing! Okay, Gustav won't kill, but... if he survives a turn, he can kill. So a combo deck that does not run cards that are meta would be okay with you. If you mean combo deck in the sense that your opponent starts turn 1 and they play like 17 fucking cards, no. I don't care if that deck was meta or not. Something they're doing should not be happening. And in fairness to that, too, it's like, I come from Magic, where, like, infinite combos are just kind of a perk of deck building. But in Yu-Gi-Oh!, that shit is, like, a very, very good sign that you're playing with cards before they're banned. Like, the cards you're playing with are probably going to be banned, or they should be banned, because the rest of the game is oriented around preventing exactly what you're doing. How many cards are you about to play tournament? Now, that's good. That's a good question, obviously. The hypothetical 17-card scenario implies that there would be multiple steps in which certain cards are being abused for additional draws. Remember, this is a game where Pot of Greed is banned merely because it gives you +1 card advantage. For merely that singular reason. So, if there exists an opening hands that can get you to draw into almost half of your fucking deck, it's a big fucking mystery whether something in that combination of cards might be bannable. Reinforced Human Psychic Borg. Okay. Scrub Raid's not going to be super helpful right now. Imperial Custom. You cannot swing over my Metal Reflex line. I guess most decks printed after 2016 could be banned, in your opinion. Maybe. I'm not sure if I'm currently... Like, what is 2016? Because I honestly have not got that sort of era of Yu-Gi-Oh! In my head. Like, are we talking Zexal? Because I gotta say, I've recently... I'm doing Zexal, the Zexal era after 5Ds, obviously. And I've a couple times tried to Google what are the best Zexal cards. Best cards of the Zexal era that came out. And unfailingly, the search results come back as the best XYZ cards. Okay. What the fuck is this guy doing? It's like, okay, I understand XYZ cards came out during that time, but were they so fucking radically, disgustingly game-defining that you cannot even give me a list of non-XYZ cards that would be decent? And this is part of my problem with where I'm at in this game right now. Because if I look at my wish list of cards, I've got a bunch in the 5Ds era that I got that are really good. And there's a bunch in the Arc V era that I want to get that are really good. But Zexal is, like, destitute. There's Royal Prison, there's Jingzhen Hu, there's Dice Knight, and Summon Breaker. That's exactly 4 cards I'm gonna fucking grind through to get. And the amount of effort I'm gonna put into it just doesn't seem like it's gonna be worth it. The only card from that era that otherwise would be super radically, like, altering for the deck that I have is Super Dreadnought Railcan and Gustav Max, but I already got it as part of the Panic Challenge. So I've already got Gustav Max from the Zexal era. And ironically, I honestly don't think Gustav Max is even broken. I think Gustav Max is bullshit just because I'm able to get it out with one continuous trap card that treats itself as a level 10 monster. That's what's bullshit. Metal Reflect Slime is what's bullshit. Yes, most decks prefer Imperial Custom confuses me because it lets you destroy traps to summon Uria. See, it doesn't use the keyword destroy. It uses the keyword send. I also wondered that with regards to another card that I had called Mask of Restrict, which says you cannot tribute cards. And I thought I couldn't use it with Uria because I'm tributing traps to summon Uria. But no, you can still use it because it says send. You cannot send this card. Pot of Greed isn't banned because it's a +1 in card advantage. It's a +1 that is not once per turn. There are other when I said that's all it did, that is literally all it did. There are no caveats to the card. If it's once per turn, it's once per turn. But you're honestly telling me they could print a Pot of Greed that says once per turn? They could errata Pot of Greed that says once per turn on it, and they would be comfortable unbanning it, like unlimited, you could have 3 copies in your deck? I kind of doubt that. There are other pots that give you +1. Those other pots come with gameplay conditions. Like you have to exile you have to exile 10 cards from the top of your deck. You have to fetch exactly 5 monsters from your graveyard and put it back into your deck. You gotta exile 3 to 6 cards from your extra deck to get those draw 2. You can't not tell me that you have other draw 2s that aren't inhibited in that way, and it's different because it says there's once per turn. No, they have pretty significant restrictions on them. Pot of Greed is banned because it's a non-card where no deck is not objectively good to use it. I actually disagree with that. I do not think that it is true to say that there is no deck that would not objectively benefit from using it. For instance, if I had a choice between Pot of Greed and Magic Planner, I would take Magic Planner. And the reason for that is because I'm able to get rid of my continuous traps and put them in the grave. Now, does that restrict me somewhat? It does. But the cost is a benefit to me and allows me to continue to circulate the cards in my deck into the place that I want them to. So that is not strictly speaking true. Plus, not every deck benefits from being 40 cards or less than 40 cards. Now, if you want to say that strictly about what's meta in the moment, then you're talking about what, like 4 or 5 decks. Why wouldn't you play both? I might play both if I didn't have other cards to play, but I have other cards to play. Like, when I'm looking at my deck list for Uria, and I'm considering, I need to fit in like a shadow spell or something, then yeah, Pot of Greed would probably be worthwhile. But a lot of what I got belongs in this deck. And bear in mind, when I was actually running this in real life, I was running over a 40-card deck. And I was getting Uria up to like 36,000 attack points, which is a bit excessive, I'll admit. I still won like half my games. And by half my games, I mean at the tournament I went to. I'll accept that Summon Limit has some future value in stopping the inevitable horror show of Link monsters and XYZ spam or whatever the fuck, but at the moment it's pretty trash against guys like this who are just summoning 1 effect monster per turn, if that. 36k damage sounds reasonable against Solemn Wishes users. Yes. This is true. This deck, like, I was actually struggling when I was going up against the Arrowmage deck, which is all about life gain and having more life points than you. That deck is really good. Really powerful. You could definitely splash it into Uria too and do really well with it, but ultimately I elected not to do that because I really don't want this to be like a life gain centric deck. It is an Uria OTK stall deck, and for the purposes of stalling, life gain is very good. Especially if it is unconditional 500 life points every turn. That is very good. Honestly, just gonna end up burning him to death if he doesn't do anything about it. Well, do I want to Regeki this? I kinda don't. I'll Regeki if he destroys my Nightmare Whale. Grubbins. Oh, you got rid of a good card. You got rid of a card that could potentially cause me trouble. What did he summon? See, there you go. There is your draw 2, okay? There are other cards that also let you draw 2, Omni. That card did not have a once per turn on it. That card is a trap, and you need to shuffle 3 Psychic-type monsters into your deck. Then you get draw 2. Pot of Desires was released in August 2016. A staggering amount of meta-relevant decks played a playset of it until Pot of Extravagance came out. See, Pot of Desires is implicitly really risky, because if any of those decks are playing with, like, key cards, it's entirely possible. I know they're both played today. Basically, all the pot cards are played today. But you'll notice that they aren't all played. Not all the same ones are played. They'll choose different ones that are suitable for different circumstances in their decks. And I think that's great. I think that's fine. What's this? Well, he got rid of my Nightmare Whale thing, so I'm forgetting. Oh, I did that to myself, didn't I? You bastard. Okay, well, I'm just gonna put him in out. I can't flip summon. Mystical Space Typhoon. Please don't Sakratsu armor me or whatever. No! That's fine. The risk of Pot of Desires is that you ban your key cards in your deck. It's the same thing with the other pot card. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's Extravagance that banishes your extra deck cards. What, randomly too? Like it randomly banishes your extra deck cards? Like that's a huge risk. What is it? Allure of Darkness? It's also a draw too. But you gotta make sure that you're drawing into a dark monster. If you don't draw into a dark monster, you just lost your hand. Risk of Desire is super low and matters rarely because games aren't usually long enough to see a lot of your deck. If those games are the meta games in which you're talking about like turn 2, turn 3 wins, that's bullshit. Okay, let's try this one more time. Pot of Sneed, the banished 10 city slickers, was released in Guatemala. A playset of it until Pot of Chuck came out. Yes. You know what makes those sorts of conversations even worse? Is when they gotta use the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype prefixes. I was watching some video of two guys playing, and one of them was playing a Cyberdark deck. I swear, they said the word Cyberdeck like a fucking trillion times. I play my Cyberdark Edge to summon my Cyberdark Blade, which allows me to fetch from my graveyard a Cyberdeck Gillweed. Cyberdeck Gillweed I then special summon into play, which increases the attack of all of my Cyberdeck Loop-de-doops. Like, it was so fucking annoying. Just leave out the Cyberdark. We understand you're playing a Cyberdark deck. Okay, we got it. Kick a nightmare. Interesting. It's not a quick spell, is it? This is a possible issue. Flip. Kill. Want. Most constructed decks can OTK you turn 2. It's not even meta only. Well, what I'm talking about isn't just meta cancer, it's just cancer. Not the special kind of cancer. Not the kind of cancer you gotta go out of your way to get. Like fucking lung cancer. Or even brain cancer. No, it's just good old everyday standing out in the sun for just a minute too long. Skin cancer. That's what you get. Most constructed decks can OTK you turn 2. I guess I just must be running the most retarded deck in the world, because I'll take turn 20 to OTK you. Stuff like that exists for so long. I guess we just play different games which happen to have the same name. I mean, I'm playing through the 5Ds era right now. I'm playing through this game as though I am running the same deck from 2006, and I'm just building on it with the cards that got released as they got released. So, my goal is to make this deck faster, obviously, but we get there when we get there. Magic Planner made a big difference. Gustav Max made a big difference. What other big cards am I looking for? Fogblade would be really good. Super Quantal Mech Beast Grand Pulse would be good. Quantum Cat could give me some more flexibility. There's Jar of Avarice, which I'm interested in. Ultimate Providence I would like. Fusion Conscription is like the fetch card that I want. And then there's a bunch of V-Reigns era cards I want to try out too. Those enemies are not representatives of the area, and the packs you get are not in the order they were released. I'm well aware of that. It's like a crude approximation. I am aware of this. I think the game is kind of oriented around giving you a flavor of the different eras, but still trying to keep within, like, the archetypes of each, like, series as they came out. As I said, Gustav Max isn't until the next series, but I already have it, so I know this. This is Synchro Monsters. We haven't even had XYZ Monsters yet. But I guess XYZ is when it gets retarded, huh? Great. Nice waste. Once per turn, reveal 3 equipped cards from your deck. Snatch Steal is banned. Spell, you can send one of those cards. Your deck doesn't seem like it's focused on killing on turn 2. No shit. I didn't mean that as an insult. It's next to impossible to kill someone fast with continuous traps. This is true. You really want that Snatch Steal. Double tool C and D. Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Fucking limit removal. Speak of cards that should be banned. What the fuck? Good grief. What a load of shit that card is. I need some cards from this one. Secret Guards of the Ice Barrier. Cannot be targeted by effects of your opponent's effect monsters. Revived King Hades. Chain healing. What? Activate only when your opponent special summons a monster, fetch a field spell, and activate it? I guess this could be faster, but why? Security orb. New Blitz 74, what's up? Playmaker. The monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard. Target that monster, special summon it, face in defense position, but it's destroyed during the end phase. Straight Flush. Why is this played? When a trap card is activated, engage the activation, and if you do, shuffle that card into the deck. I'm not quite sure I understand this card. I am seeking the turtle. Card I was looking for. I seek more of him. Geomancer of the Ice Barrier. It's kind of fucking hideous. You know, I tried picking up some actual Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I gotta say, booster packs with only like 7 fucking cards in them kinda fucking suck. Especially when they're so hyper archetype specific as Yu-Gi-Oh cards are now these days. It's like, I can open up a pack of 15 Magic cards, and most of them will at least be playable in a deck. Like, at least half of them will be garbage because Wizards can't balance their fucking cards for shit. It's like against their religion or something. But, like, opening a pack of 7 Yu-Gi-Oh cards for the same amount of money and getting, like, nothing that is playable for maybe even a dozen decks that you're trying to build is just kind of fucking disappointing. It's like, why am I even buying booster packs? This sucks. Can't use that trap card, but it gets sent to the deck shuffled. But yeah, the wiretap. Not really understanding the point of it, though. This card is face up on the field. Its name is treated as Plague Spreader Zombie. Once per turn, you can target up to 2 face-up zombie-type monsters you control, except this card. Drafts aren't that much fun in Yu-Gi-Oh! Drafts seem impossible in Yu-Gi-Oh! Why would you try to do any sort of draft play in Yu-Gi-Oh? That sounds awful. Like, I know there's a draft mode in this game, but it's specifically set up to give you a bunch of, like, fairly generic cards. Because they know you can't have... Like, you draw... Here's your hypothetical deck. Only works in Alien deck. Only works in a 6 Samurai deck. Only works in a Spiral deck. 6 Samurai deck. You gotta have Earth Warrior monsters. Synchro shit. Chain shit. FA cards. What are the odds that any given deck you're building will be able to be supplemented by any of these? Very, very low. Alien Brain. When a reptile-type monster you control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster sent to the graveyard, take control of the opponent's monster, and if you do, it becomes reptile-type. Wow, that actually seems pretty good. For an alien deck, play draft for the rest. For the set Aroma Jar was released in as a fucking common. That was the most miserable tournament I played in. I can imagine that. Each time a player activates a trap card, they take 1,000 damage immediately after it resolves. Wow, this continuous trap, it seems really useful. Maybe it would go in my deck. Discard 1 card. Negate the activation of a spell, trap, or effect monster's effect that destroys a monster on the field. And destroy that card. See, this actually seems like it would be pretty decent. My only... Like, this... Like, genuinely, this seems like this could be, like, a viable card I should have in my deck. But... it has to only destroy a monster on the field. Which is a problem, because my opponent could do some other shit, like play Karibo. Suddenly, they just don't take damage that turn. And the next turn, they board white. Right? Like, I can't do shit about that in that case. Destruction Jammer is so versatile, but not for that. I'll write it down, though. That's my issue there. Back to it. Whoop. Back to it. Still got a ways. I want a good excuse to just jump straight into Arc V. Because Arc V has cards I want. Whereas Zexal doesn't. But for the sake of OCD and consistency, I am continuing to do the reverse duels in order. It is pain. Arc V? Arc 5. I'm pretty sure it's V. The V stands for something. Arc V was the time I had the most fun in the game. Isn't Arc V when they introduced the fucking pendulum monsters? Isn't that the period everyone fucking hates? Am I mistaken on this? Taking another one of my chump blockers like I'm gonna be swinging into you. How aggressive should I play? Let's do aggressive. Because I want you to die now. I was joking about the Arc V thing. It was a joke. Oh wow, look at that. I almost won OTK turn 2. Wow. Reason it. Pendulums came in Arc V, but a lot of other stuff was supported in Arc V as well. It had a bunch of new rituals, fusions, XYZs, and synchros. I do not mind seeing more ritual cards. And I am also in favor of making ritual shit more flexible. Please don't mill myself out. The shit. There you go, jeez. Ah! Game. Loser. See, if they like did a lot of support for different types of like gameplays and monster types and shit like that in Arc V, that sounds great. Sorry for the background noise, once again. But I'm still left with the feeling that Zexal seems to be, it's just the number XYZs. Utopia, 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 and I just want to fucking die. Speaking of dying, somebody's dying. Got 2 summons. Well, you know what we're doing here. Before you tribute them turn 2, or main phase 2 somehow.
I'm gonna synchro summon main phase 2.
Yep, that's exactly what he did. What the fuck? Thanks. That's sweet.
Could do that if you had summon limit.
4th summon comes back into play. Tributes. Normal summon, special summon, into synchro summon, into token summon, tributes into a tribute summon. What the fuck? And I got nothing in my hand. Why did I use that then? I did that because that was the smart play to do if I didn't want to take any damage, but now, you know, the consequences, I'm going to take a shit ton of damage. Ugh. Toll hike will help a little bit, but it's not great. It would be better if I let him try to remove cards from his hand. Like, get rid of shit in your hand. I can't prevent him from winning. I won't stall this. I stalled it by activating the 2 nightmare wheels, and then him instantly doing what I expected him to do. Or what I mockingly did not want him to do, because it would be trolly as shit, and he did exactly the trolly shit I expected him to do. Oh, if you have summon limit, you can't do 6 fucking summons in a turn. No shit. No shit. How about that? Would you believe that summon limit would have stopped that? What? That was pretty apparent bait. That was a very apparent vulnerability. Summons 2 guys immediately. Perfect setup for a synchro summon, right? Could easily do that during his main phase too. He has cards in his extra deck. Goes for it. And then he just happens to be able to, once he gets into play, dick around in his graveyard a little bit. Throw out a token. The token can be tributed. Tribute summons from the fucking graveyard. Just did the exact same play again. Only this time I got a 3,000 blocker out. How about you just die? Like, fuck you. That's what I feel about you right there. Special summoned with the effect of Blackwing Steam the Cloak. If it leaves the field, if this card is in your graveyard, you contribute 1 monster, special summon it from the graveyard. So not even a tribute summon, it's a special summon. Well, of course it's not. A tribute summon from the grave. That's special. Blackwing Elf open the Raven. That's awful cool of you. Why did I not toll hike? There you go. How do you like that? Just started the 5Ds. Well, this is probably the most people I've had in a stream in one time. At least for, Yu-Gi-Oh! Campaigns are boring when you're not playing a gimmick deck. Am I not playing a gimmick deck? I thought I was playing a gimmick deck. Sorta. Double toll hike, motherfucker! I just raised the taxes on you. Oh, summon limit, wow. Gosh. No, I see some usefulness there. You are, I'm not. Blizzard the Far North. It's funny how this far into Yu-Gi-Oh! And they still English the fuck out of the card names. Blizzard the Far North. Bora the Spear. Gale the Whirlwind. Where's the other one? Steam the Cloak. Steam the Cloak. Twin Twisters. Does this game have PvP and will be open for games with viewers in the future? I'm trying to be uncancerous as possible. My most beloved deck isn't playable in normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Since like 7 years or so. Hey, that card is banned. What card is banned? Are one of these cards banned? Did he play a banned card on me? Guard Mines. Activate only when when a card is activated when effective destroys. What card is banned? Gale the Whirlwind? You can't play Steam the... Oh, really? You can't play Steam the Cloak. I wonder why. I can't imagine why this card is banned. Of all the cards he's played, I can't imagine why I might possibly guess that this would be the banned one. It's a big shocker there. Wow. As to PvP, I would be very open to playing multiplayer in this game. I just do not have what do you call it? The PSN bullshit, whatever, right now. Not that I couldn't get it, but I'm also working towards completing this game for now, so... I'm a bit preoccupied, but once I get a bit further into this game, then maybe we'll do some matches. If you have meta AIDS, sure you don't mean mega AIDS? Because meta is pretty mega AIDS. Doesn't even matter what game you're playing. Metagaming just sucks. Sucks in Dota. It sucks in every MOBA. Basically, metagaming singularly ruins every single MOBA that has ever existed. I don't know a single MOBA that has ever existed that has not been shat all over by metagaming. But that's partly to blame by design, because they all take after Dota, and Dota kinda begs to be metagamed. He hasn't pulled off some wild needle fiber loops and summoned 38 link monsters, so he's definitely not playing Steam the Cloak for its correct use. Maybe he needs to work on that. This isn't the Duelist Challenge, mind you. Maybe if I do Crow's Duelist Challenge, he'll start pulling that shit on me. The Duelist Challenges do seem to be quite a bit harder. MOBAs die with casual players start playing meta, and no one can just have fun. My first experience with Dota was terrible. Like, the concept is really cool to me, and I wanted to play as Lucy, because I'm like, Lucy has, like, a wake of fire all around him. And then everywhere Lucy walks, everyone just burns. So I can just, if I, like, crank up the speed on Lucy, I can just fly into any combat situation. And then I'm instantly applying pressure for my team. And then on top of that, it has an eat ability, where I can just insta-kill a minion, and then over time get money from it. That sounds great. But then everybody fucking shits all over me. You're not playing fucking Lucy properly. You don't know how to play. Fucking ban blue. Blue's a faggot. Like, what the fuck? Man. And I might have fucking enjoyed this game, but other people are apparently fucking allergic to fun, apparently. They're playing this game for some reason other than having fun, so I don't know why they were playing it. But apparently I was not involved. I should not have been involved, so. Stopped there. Dota was so much fun, then they changed Goblin techies. I don't know what that means. Give me my card. There we go. Let's go for game. Harpy's Feather Duster. What can you guys do? Nope. 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 No battle damage from attacks involving this card, so don't attack this guy. Okay, got it. Take that, take that, take that. Put you into play. And planner. Put you into play. Techies is a hero in Dota, and I spent 90% of my time in game playing them. I do not remember who that is. I play meta in most games, but I also do derive a certain joy from winning that others around me seemingly do not. Like, I don't want to try hard, but can we at least try it all? Yeah, I feel like there should be a middle ground between... This game's not fun if I can't fucking murder the game mechanics. And, whatever the other extreme is to that. Like, is it not commendable to have someone put together a deck, and it's like a theme deck, right? I like theme decks. I want to play around a certain theme of card, right? I don't want to include cards that are outside of that theme. It kind of spoils the immersion of playing the Six Samurai if I have to put Sangan into the deck, you know? But then, if Sangan is just the ideal card to put in there, well, you're playing a suboptimal Six Samurai deck. I wish you could just win on your own terms, you know? I wish that was a viable option. And the game should be designed around allowing that to be a viable option. Really should. Making objectively stupid decisions, maybe that's one thing. But, you know, just not playing with cards that are meta, or just designing cards in a way that they're not even viable to begin with. Like, I only discovered recently the Crystal Beasts. Like, that entire deck archetype basically revolves around the 7, the only 7 Crystal Beasts. And they never made more Crystal Beasts. They made Ultimate Crystal Beasts, but they didn't make new Crystal Beasts. So you're just kind of stuck with, like, the 2 decent and the other shitty Crystal Beasts. Tekis is a hero that is rather weak in direct combat, that places mines all around the map. I changed 2 abilities, and I never played them since. Still sitting on my 13-game win streak. Okay. Reggae Heater, Stardust. What did you do? Wow. Stardust sacrificed himself to save this set card. It must be a wonderful set card. So wonderful, in fact, it will never change combat position. Excuse me. The other side is, hey, I pick gun A because it's better than gun B. That's kind of what I meant by meta. Murdering the game mechanics. Is Call the Haunted just dead on his field? Yeah. Thinking to Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. You ever see speed runs of Dawn of Sorrow? They all use the same soul. Killer Clown. And the reason why you use Killer Clown is because you can spam it if you mash backdash. So normally, you just go flip, 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 and you throw a card and it does a tiny amount of damage. But if you're mashing backdash, suddenly you're like, and every single boss in the game just instantly dies from a deck of cards. And that's how you speedrun Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. I'd rather it just be a fun soul to use, rather than the soul you use because it's the most abusable. You know? Or at least have all the cards, or not cards, but all the souls be equally abusable and fun. Haven't seen any Castlevania gameplay other than Simon's Quest. Dawn of Sorrow definitely is not among the most popular of Castlevania games, but I played the shit out of it. It's a good one. I recommend it. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow is what made me want to play a game where Alucard is the main character. And then I discovered, to my astounding joy, that that game actually exists. And it was on PlayStation 1. And it's called Symphony of the Night, and it's actually a fucking great game. Dawn of Sorrow introduced me to that. Can't complain. Kind of stuff I don't like, taking something that's a bit better than the rest and raping it until it literally defies all logical power limitations. Uh-oh, Stardust is gone. Well, that's what I meant by break the game mechanics. In that case, Killer Clown is kinda meta. Don't have much recourse but to use that if you want to be as fast as possible in Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. You know, something that it's totally unrelated, but something that I've noticed in this game is that when the AI plays the Gravekeepers, it takes the longest to decide what to do. I don't know what it is about the Gravekeepers deck, but the AI in this game struggles like hell when I'm playing against it to figure out what to do. The game won't even let me, like, move the cursor during their turn. It's struggling so hard just to figure out what it's supposed to do next. I don't know why. I really shouldn't destroy Call of the Haunted. It's just wasting one of their spaces. Do I swing in? Let's swing in. Hi there. Can you do anything? Switches to defense. Okay. Not surprised. Want to play Gravekeepers, but at the same time, if I want to play a field spell deck, I could just play Mystic Mine. You know, I've seen a lot of comments about Mystic Mine. Is my understanding that people hate Mystic Mine because it slows the game to basically Uria deck speed? Seems to be what happens. One more turn to win. Alright, well that's that. I looked at Mystic Mine because, you know, I need some sort of lockdown field spell for this deck. Which is why I found Dark Sanctuary. Yeah, Mystic Mine is a card that doesn't let your opponent attack or use monster effects as long as they control more monsters than you. Now that's a board state I think I can get into. Not too difficult, but at the same time, while my opponent is filling up the board, they're also giving themselves a lot of tribute fodder. So that field spell will only stay in play in so long as my opponent cooperates with me. Which I have no reason to trust that they'll do, so why would I rely on Mystic Mine? It's way less reliable than this coin flip card, because this coin flip card at least assures me some approximation of basically reducing half the damage I take and inflicting back to my opponent a quarter of the damage they deal. That's way more reliable than, your opponent has to have more monsters than you, but if you ever have the same amount of monsters, it dies. Trust me, if you build a deck around Mystic Mine, you won't see a single hit of damage. Well, that's if I'm building a deck around Mystic Mine. Maybe if I'm building a deck around Mystic Mine, but I'm looking for a field spell to fit into my pre-existing deck, so not quite working that way. People don't like it because it can negate their combo with a Dark Ruler no more. I don't remember what that card does offhand. I've yet to see a splashable Mystic Mine engine. Yeah, that might be your problem. Not your problem, but I mean, that might be the problem of trying to splash Mystic Mine. Nitro Warrior. Tails. No. Meh. I'll punish you for not getting Tails next time. I really want a card that does what Sangan does, but isn't Sangan. I've looked all over, and I really just cannot find the card. I wish the card existed, but I cannot find it. And don't tell me which of the Black Forest, because I know that. It's basically the same fucking card. I want something that's not old, ugly-looking shit, but also hasn't been errated to shit like Sangan has. Yeah, I see you did it, Tesnu. I warned you. You can't do that. Which of the Black Forest got eroded in exactly the same way? What is the delay on the stream at this point? Oh, it's not even... Hold on. My own running version of the stream isn't even live yet. Okay, anyway. Back to it. You know, I thought I'd get a lot more mileage out of Unending Nightmare than I have been getting. Which is unfortunate. Being really aggressive, really shouldn't be doing this when I'm doing it. What is he doing? You take no battle damage this turn? Oh, sure. Fine. Oh, sorry. You take no battle damage this turn? Monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. Oh, okay. I see. Well, that sucks. Yeah, you're behind a couple seconds. Dark Hole. Excellent. That's a great move right there. Way to make me feel foolish. And now watch as he takes Quillbolt's Hedgehog and kills himself by swinging for 400 a bazillion times until he dies. Unending Nightmare wins against Pendulum decks alone? Well, I can't wait for the Pendulum decks to show up in that case. Toll Hike, there we go. I love Toll Hike. It is no guarantee against swings, but with enough of them, it's virtual lockout. And for all the people that like to whinge at me about card advantage, I can just throw Toll Hike in their face and like, you want to talk to me about card advantage? Look at how much this guy's fucking discarding. Shut the fuck up. He places a pendulum scale and you destroy it with unending. Repeat 4 more times. You just can't pendulum summon while you have that card. I still have no idea how pendulum shit works at all. I just have no idea. I've gleaned how synchro summon. I've gleaned how synchro works. I've gleaned how XYZ works. Very straightforward. I still have no fucking clue what the pendulum shit's about. I've even figured out how link summoning works. But the pendulum stuff is still arcane as sin. There's something wrong with the game design when I still don't know what the fuck you're on about with the pendulum cards. Finally. Just a summon limit. Nightmare Wheel. Yeah, fuck a Nightmare Wheel. RP's Feather Duster. Uria. Reasoning. According to a random ass article I found, 3 Mystic Mines, 1 Terraforming, 1 Metaverse, and 3 Demise of the Land is splashable Engine of Cancer. Sounds lovely. You can place pendulum monsters in pendulum scales and can summon everything from hand and face up extra that lies between both scales. That does not clear up my confusion at all. You can place pendulum monsters in pendulum scales. What is a What do you mean place in pendulum scales? You mean the pendulum zones? I know there are 2 pendulum zones. And can summon everything from hand and face up extra that lies between both scales. If you have a scale 3 and a scale 5, you can summon all level 4 monsters from your hands. What's the difference between the blue and red thing? Because I got the little blue and red icons. Why do they need Why do they need separate blue and red things if they say the exact same number? That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me based on the description you're giving me here. Those are the zones. The color is just an aesthetic. Well, you say the color is just an aesthetic, but on every single pendulum card I've seen, they have dedicated areas for both of these arrows, and they say the exact same number. So, if a pendulum monster is represented by a single pendulum scale, then you're telling me they're just wasting card space. You slap pendulum cards in the pen zone and summon monsters from your hand to the field whose levels are in between, but do not include the number on the scale. Colors are different because the main character of Arc V is heterochromic. That is such a bad reason. Maybe they plan on making cards with different scales depending on the zone, but I don't know any. Oh, jeez, really? So pendulum monsters just went over that poorly that they just permanently have a bet. Like, I have one right in front of me right now. It is, Tisulfacord Butia. Okay, so is the spell effect the one that's on top? Is that the one that's on top, the spell effect? Nobody uses pendulums. Except pendulum players! Come on, Buster. Let's be open-minded, shall we? I don't know why I'm fetching that. I want to like... The Apel. The spell. Dark Resonator. Synchro Summon, you bitch! Okay. Yes, while in the Pendulum Zone, Pendulum monsters are treated as spell cards and have different effects. The spell effect is on as long as it is in the Pendulum Zone. As long as it is in the Pendulum Zone, does that mean I can ignore the monster effect? As long as it's in the Pendulum Zone, it's only good for the top effect. Is that correct? Pendulum players are barely 3/5 of a person. Okay, so the spell effect is on top. That's situated between the two stupid card economy, space wasting icons, arrows, whatever. And then only when it's on the field do you have its monster effect. Do you also have its spell effect while it's on the field, or is that exclusive to the Pendulum Zone? So basically, while it's in the Pendulum Zone, you got a continuous spell, sort of. And then when it's in play, it's just monster effect, just an effect monster. There's no other extra treatment. Nothing else. Synchro Summon. That's a tribute summon. Synchro Summon. No, you can only use the monster effect when in the monster zone and vice versa. So, okay, so, you know, when you're explaining this, it seems fairly straightforward. Why in the absolute fuck did they make that so arcane to me? Not just me, clearly everybody, because I've yet to see anybody who's like, oh yeah, pendulum makes perfect sense. I don't know what the fuck you're on about. Obviously, I can look at a pendulum card for the first time and realize, oh, yeah, that's how that works. It's not like looking at a goddamn magic card that says enchantment creature on it, you know, and understanding, oh, okay, so this is a creature that is also treated as an enchantment. It's very easy to parse and to understand. But no, there are special zones for this thing. But now I'm just wondering, so, are you limited on the number of pendulum summons you can do? Or is basically anything within that level range free game for special summoning, essentially? Pendulums don't go into the extra deck if they die most times. Okay. I can understand that. Fuck your monster. The fuck did I write? They don't actually go to the graveyard, they go face up to the extra deck. Well, which is it? Only one pendulum summon per turn. Okay, I was about to say, that seems kind of busted. Just a little bit busted. So does it matter at all what side of your pendulum zones they put that into? Oh, wow, look at that. You played a certain card. Gosh, I'm so threatened. God's judgment. Get fucked. Uria. Sangan. They go into the extra deck if they die. You can pendulum summon once per turn and are not limited in the number of Okay, I'm hearing wildly conflicting rules from you guys. Change it to defense position if it's targeted for an attack. Okay. You're alive another turn. What do you got? Nothing! You got nothing. I'm gonna flip this. Ah! Really? And I turned him into attack position. Fuck. Motherfucker. Do not swing for 1300 damage, please. Thank God. That was about to be ugly. Sangan for win. So here's the deal. Pendulum monsters are spells and monsters with effects they can use when in the proper zone. They go face up in the extra deck upon death. But why? Why would they go face up in the extra deck? Can you summon them from the extra deck? Can you only pendulum summon them from the extra deck? There's a question. You can pendulum summon once per turn, but can summon any number of monsters with one summon. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. You can pendulum summon from hand and the extra deck. Okay, but you still only get the one. With every pendulum summon, you can choose any number of monsters from your hand, but only one from the Oh my gosh, now this is getting more complicated. So you do simultaneous summoning? You get one pendulum summon, and your one pendulum summon can be a flood of 5 cards from your hand. Is that what you're telling me? That sounds a bit bogus. Pendulums are stupidly complicated for no fucking reason. I don't know why. Stop blaming me. I'm sorry. 5-card flip. But summons from extra are limited to the extra monster zone and zone's link monster points to. That's not just a link monster thing? Isn't that nerfing fusion monsters? Am I wrong in that? Does that not also nerf fusion monsters, if that's the case? That's cards. Another one. No. Tails. That was the case for all extra deck monsters a couple years ago. Konami hates pendulums. They were the only card that you still need link arrows to summon from the extra deck. Other than links, of course. All other types were fine. Okay, so it's just pendulums and link monsters for some reason. Because they're all about being, like, hyper-situated on the board for some reason. Gotcha. Okay. I really feel like they did not need to experiment with all these different monster types.
Let's make monsters that are white. Let's make monsters that are black. How about we make a whole new slew of blue monster cards? just to make sure we don't confuse them with the other blue monster cards we already have.
True ineffable brilliance. Okay, you know, I like Nightmare Wheel because when it leaves play, right? When it leaves the field, destroy this card. Well, it left the field, and it's still fucking here. So I'm not happy about that. You just dead card. We just made a dead card of one of my zones. So now I gotta destroy it now, and I'm not happy about that. Oh, great. I spent 1,000 life points because of fucking Imperial Custom. Now I gotta do this 2 more times. Fuck. God damn it. They could have stopped at, like, synchros and we would all have been happy. I don't know about that. Synchros are honestly... You know, I'm not super fond of synchros. Actually, I take it back. I don't like synchros. Synchros are inherently garbage, just design-wise, because they all require a specific monster type. They all require tuner cards, right? XYZs are way, way more flexible than that. They don't require this super special subset of cards, idiotically called tuner cards, for some fucking reason. Although, the drawback to XYZs is that they're almost all situated around having a finite disposable amount of materials. And so, whatever cool effects they have only work so long. So... That's awful cool of ya. Yeah, just swing into my life points. How about you die? Fuck you. Don't appreciate you. Reasoning into a blocker. You say Quasar is pretty iconic, and I don't know what Quasar is. I don't know why that isn't using the good effect of Black Rose Dragon. The way I've always seen synchros is just like tribute monsters from the extra deck. Tuner monsters are far more common than you'd think. Most decks run Ash Blossom, which is the tuner and hand trap. I've noticed that them being tuners is very useful. But what's kind of bullshit there, bringing that up, is that you're advertising synchros being playable because there are meta cards that basically everybody plays that happen to satisfy the restrictive summoning conditions of synchros. I think that's kind of weak. You're doing fine. Gigaplant. Stop. Stop. Stop! Tails! Get fucked. This is not going well. They're not very restrictive. If you have a synchro deck, it's most definitely... Okay, stop! No! Nah. You cannot pull that shit on me. They're not very restrictive if you have this deck entirely based around satisfying their summoning conditions. No, fuck you. Pendulums aren't bullshit. If you have a pendulum deck, no. Don't even. No, it's nonsense. Tails! Tails! Get fucked. What did he just do? Summon another monster. Tributing that monster to do direct damage to me. What the fuck is going on? Hi. What the fuck was that turn? Do I Solemn Judgment? I mean, if you're not running any tuners, then yeah, they're about as restrictive as you can get. Well, that's my problem. What if I don't like any of the tuner monsters? Take my Uria deck, for example. Now, granted, this deck is pretty restrictive in what I'm able to run, but I only can justify so many monsters in this deck. Maybe there's some great synchro cards, right? Maybe there's some amazing synchro monsters, but how many fucking tuners do I need to put in my deck to make them playable, let alone replace the existing cards that I already have? And fuck you, don't get to play synchros? Well, yeah, that might be how it goes. Kill yourself on my Dark Sanctuary. Will Omni cheese this? I will not only cheese it, I will vegan cheese it. Oh, that motherfucker. Yeah, I can't. I really should have Solemn Judgmented that, but I did not react fast enough. Motherfucker! No! Dark Sanctuary. Tails! Yes! You fucking cocksucker. Defeated. Don't speak to me or my son ever again. You have Gustav, though, so you're fine. One on a coin flip. I just time wizard the fuck out of you. 4 or 5 tails in a row until they die? Yes. The vegan cheese takes the dub. No. Hold the fuck up. Why was I not able to activate that? I don't see any reason why I should not have been able to activate Metal Reflux Time. I do not know what a debris dragon is. Uh-oh. My headset got disconnected? Can you guys hear me?
Am I audible? Is the big, fat, ugly black box still on the screen? Okay, it's gone. Debris Dragon is searchable, Sangan, and a 1-card Synchro 7 if you do so. I am audible, thank you. Debris Dragon is searchable and a 1-card Synchro 7. That sounds good and cheap. Well, can you hear me or can't you hear me? You can hear me, you liar. Okay. I will Magic Planter one of these. I will Twin Twisters, Solemn Wishes. I will set Raikou. Thought he was level restricted and not attack restricted. Don't know what that means. Sky Palace. Shing. And we still can't hear you. I can hear myself, so I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. I am audible on the stream, so I don't know why you can't hear me. Oh, I have to discard my own cards. I forgot. Whoops. Dark Hole. That's mean. I could have Solemn Judgmented that. A Junk Synchron? Absolutely not. That card is banned. I will pay half my life points so that you never play that again. That hurts. Now, Quillbolt Hedgehog, now that is a balanced and fair card. I am not audible, sorry for the edge. That was obvious because after what you said. The joke is lost on me, it's late at night, I've already worked today, I'm sorry. I seem to have some bump on the side of my chest, and I'm trying to decide whether or not it's like a sore lymph node or I'm actually got cancer. I don't know. It's probably fine. Thank you for being here to talk with me and making this fucking trudge somewhat tolerable. The estrogen is getting to me. I am now a woman. Maybe that's it. What did you just do? What did he just do? Excuse me, what did you just do? Do I not have that card? I don't know what he just did. Oh, there it is. Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls, banish it until the end of this turn, return to your opponent's side. Oh, you can temp banish my cards. One of my monsters, okay. Let's anger draw.
Spiral tough.
Dark of the Ice Barrier. Negate the normal summon or flip summon of a monster and return it to its owner's hand. Okay. There you are. There's a little turtle. Alright, well I got that. Where's Tornado Wall? UA was such a fun deck, though it was always slightly to be too unplayable to be good. I trust that sounds a lot more sensical in your head, and I agree. You're totally right. Where is it? Oh, it's the My Valentine booster. Okay. Skill Prisoner. Target one card you control this turn. When any monster effect resolves that targeted that card at activation, negate that effect. During either player's turn, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from the graveyard. You can target one card you control this turn. When any monster effect resolves that targeted that card at activation, negate that effect. That is very weird, but it sounds good. Third Goblin. Hey, Trunade! Return all set spells and traps on the field to the hand. Skill Prisoner was once meta. Ignore it, it's evil. I have ignored it. I remember this. And it's fucking garbage. Drawing for Tornado Wall. Let's see Tornado Wall. Tornado Wall. Hey, Gravedigger Ghoul. I want a Gravedigger Trap Hole. It's gonna be a while till I get that. appropriate. Would not be a bad card if I could trust my opponents to draw a lot, which unfortunately I can't. La Moon. Deck, or do you want to play it in Uria? I'm looking to try different versions of the Uria deck. Not that I'm, like, allergic to playing any other kind of deck, but specifically, like, the stream series that I'm doing, I am wanting to focus on making the Uria deck work. So I'm currently drawing for cards that would go in that second Uria deck, and then I'm basically gonna, like, play test that offline and see if it's actually better than what I got. Which it has the potential to be, but, you know, remains to be seen. Tornado Wall is a really good card, but you have to invest in splashing some Umi into the deck to get it to work. And that comes at the cost of some of our other cards, unfortunately. Why'd I just do that? No. That's not what I meant to do. I think I may have blinked out briefly there. Okay. Where are we at? Still way too fucking much. I think I might play up to the 3-hour mark. I really wish I could just be done with 5Ds. If you guys could somehow come up with, like, a fantastic excuse to convince me to just jump into Arc V and skip, like, Zexal, like, that'd be really cool. But at the moment, I feel like I'm committed to it. You know what I mean? I'd like to be able to rationalize breaking the consistency I've got going. Or being consistent in a fresh, new, invigorating way, you know? Why can I not chain these card effects? Solemn Wishes. What are you doing? I don't know what it is. I was trying to activate this and it was not letting me. Twice per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle? What? We're getting a little bit silly with the— oh my god, that shit. You know what? No. I do not want to deal with you. At least it's by battle only, so I can kill it by card effect. That's a little bit tedious. Don't be a sheep and follow the given path. Be a rebel, play RP. Being a rebel is overrated. I could just as well be a straight-laced goody two-shoes who follows the rules and is totally consistent and commits to his frickin' convictions. You're welcome to bring back all of those guys. Just do not bring back the frickin' archer dude. Why was this not activated? Regeki. You make the option very easy for me. Turtle Guy, 776. Welcome. Destroy it. Cleared the way. Swing for 7,200 damage. Your turn. I already know I can get better cards there. I would have convinced myself already if that was enough. Don't kill Uria, put up a cheapo blocker, and I can kill you. There you go. Good job. That's what you're supposed to do. We'll even make sure we do both at once. Kill you and destroy your last card. This is a good starting hand. Raigo. Start Sanctuary. Full height. Solemn Wishes. joy there. ArcV seems like it is more fun, and having fun is the goal of playing a game. This is true, but I also have an ulterior goal for playing through this game in a particular way. It is ultimately fun to play Kingdom Hearts on critical difficulty with the Kingdom Key and no summons and no limits, but you're definitely not going to have fun the whole time. And if you compromise that, you're just not doing what you set out to do. Give me something to work with. I don't know! That's why I'm asking you. Shield Wing. Junk Synchron. Synchro Summon. Junk Warrior. Toll Hike. Nightmare Wheel. Get fucked. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that just swell? Isn't it cool that you can synchro summon 2 monsters into 1 monster, swing, have to discard a card for costs, and then lose on the coin flip and still take damage? I think that's pretty sweet. Bear in mind, if that coin flip had gone through, he wouldn't have done anything because he was Nightmare Wheeled. So it doesn't really make any sense that he should deal reflect damage to himself. Isn't his attack already functionally negated? I don't fucking know. Magic Lantern. Nightmare Wheel, another Toll Hike. No attacking allowed. I don't think a challenge run is a good comparison to playing a game in the given order. Well, I am challenging myself to build the Uria deck as the new cards come out. So, I am trying to do that. Motherfucker. Junk Archer! That son of a bitch! I may just summon Uria just to fucking kill you. Oh wow, look at that, it's back. It's like you accomplished nothing. Boop, boop, boop. This is risky. Shouldn't do it. Am doing it. Activate. This face down. Destroy. We're gonna swing into the blind face down. It was a mistake. Motherfucker. And you can just activate it again, or it needs to wait until it's been set again. For a full turn. Asshole! Does he special summon it back? Oh, it came back! He didn't rid it entirely, so at least there's that. Give me... reasoning. Activate. Get rid of that crap. Swing into his archer. Another one! Naturally. End the turn. Play Arc V first because there's a lot of Utopia summons, Utopia animations. Utopia's overrated though. I hear nothing but Utopia shit. I also don't like that they insisted on numbering all of the fucking initial XYZ monsters. Started dragon. Oh no. I am back. RP. Okay. Now you die. Excuse me? What? Why can't he swing? You'll see another lot of numbers and Utopias and Zexels. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. Oh, and Zexel not in Arc V? Spare us the Utopia? Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls, banish it during the end phase of this turn, return it to your opponent's side of the field. Food for the viewers. Well, it'll still punish the viewers at some point. But the difference is, if I have the newer cards, I'd be able to go through it faster. Faster than this shit. Like, I'm still running different dimension capsule. I don't want to be running different dimension capsule. I don't know why I can't attack. It sucks. Oh, it's because I cut my own fucking toll height. That's why. I toll height myself. Sweet. Really cool, flickering my Uria. It's not actually accomplishing anything. Unless it's preventing me from attacking. I'm not sure. Oh, hey, reasoning! Wow, okay. That's reasoning. Better deck equals less Utopia. Isn't that reasoning enough? Shouldn't it? Shouldn't it? Battle. Swing. Discard. There you go. Try again. Again. Finally. Jeez. Got 10 turns to kill this loser, and you snatch steal. Wonderful. Well, thanks for the life points. I'm gonna be taking that back. And you put him in attack position. Interesting choice. Attack position. And I have a discard. And I swing into your attack position monster. And a discard. And can I banish my own cards? Only with the couple fetch cards that I have. Why would I banish them otherwise? I'll do one more. I really should end it off here, but I'll do one more. Casual 12k hit, definitely. Is there any other kind? Dark Sanctuary, please. Reinforced Truth.